After this year's huge releases at the Apple keynote conference, we got the expected new lineups of iPhones and Apple Watches. But hidden in the company's history is a strange device that made a lot of money, even though it wasn't great. It's the Apple Hi-Fi, a speaker that wasn't really popular, but still turned profitable. Apple has built a brand that resonates with millions. They've given us gadgets that have become part of our daily lives. But even in this sea of successful launches, the Hi-Fi stands as an outcast. So what's the story behind this strange product? Let's go back to 2006. Outside the Apple campus, the tech community was buzzing with rumors and leaks. Bloggers and journalists scoured patent filings and dissected every public statement from Steve Jobs, Apple's enigmatic CEO, looking for clues. Some speculated if Apple would finally make the leap into the world of television. And looking back, they weren't that far off. The possibilities seemed endless, and the world was watching, waiting for Apple to make its next move. And the day came, 28th of February. Apple came and introduced something huge. It was in the middle of a pivotal shift, moving their Mac computers from PowerPC to Intel processors. This was big news, capturing headlines and stirring excitement within the tech community. However, in the middle of it all, Apple launched the Hi-Fi, a speaker system priced at a steep $349.
And we're going to price it really more in the iPod economy space at $349. $349. And it goes on sale today.
On the surface, the product was simple, a black box with 2 speakers and a dock for Apple devices. Despite its high price, there was a small problem. It promised an audio experience that was just good, not great, and that caused a great controversy. Here was Apple, a brand synonymous with innovation, releasing a product that was just average.
You know, what is home stereo quality, you could ask? Well, if you're an audiophile, what you'd say is 4 things. 1, if you close your eyes, there's a sound stage around the speakers. The speakers disappear acoustically, and there's like a stage around the speakers where you can hear the performers performing that's much larger than the speakers, right? So a large sound stage. The second thing, maybe the most important in some ways, is precise imaging and separation. Each instrument you can place in space individually, right? Each instrument you can imagine where it is in that sound stage. And they're not all muddled together, right? They're separate, they're clear, and you can almost see where they are if you close your eyes in that soundstage. The third thing is a wide frequency range. You know, you want to be able to have great bass, but you also want to be able to hear, the highest frequencies as well.
But Apple has always known how to market its products. The Hi-Fi was always displayed in Apple stores, making it seem like a must-have item together with a lot of others. The stores themselves are designed to feel premium, and the Hi-Fi was placed strategically to benefit from this atmosphere. Now stop for a second. Imagine yourself deciding to buy a new version of the iPod that year. So you casually walk into the store, and right next to your iPod, you see the new audiophile-grade speaker. And before you ask, yeah, many people really were calling it like that. This is the reason why many customers bought it, believing it was a status symbol or a piece of art, only later to discover it was neither. One of the unique factors that worked in favor of the Hi-Fi was the Apple brand name. To many consumers, Apple represents quality and innovation. So when Apple introduces a new product, the immediate assumption is it must be good. Many people bought the Hi-Fi just on the brand name alone, trusting that Apple wouldn't release something subpar. Also, the timing of the Hi-Fi's release added to its specialty. Apple was in transition, and the tech world was watching its every move closely. For some, buying the Hi-Fi was a way to be part of this exciting period, a way to own a piece of Apple history. However, reality eventually caught up. The Hi-Fi started facing stiff competition from other brands, offering similar or better audio experiences at a lower price. Reviewers didn't shy away from pointing out many of its flaws. It was good, don't get me wrong, but not great for the standards of past Apple, and certainly not worth the price tag. Sales were sluggish, and the Hi-Fi quickly became the black sheep of the Apple family. Within a year, discounts started rolling in, and by 2007, the product was quietly discontinued. It was a rare misstep for Apple, a company known for its Midas touch. Yet the story doesn't end there. Despite its shortcomings, the Hi-Fi had already generated a significant amount of revenue. It was a financial success, even if it wasn't a critical one. Now let's hop into our time machine and move to late 2018. Apple tried to take the challenge of creating a home audio experience again, but this time after a different name, HomePod. It wasn't made just for listening to music. Imagine Siri, your personal assistant, living inside a sleek mesh-covered cylinder that pumps out sounds so rich that you'd think you were in a concert hall. That's the HomePod for you. It's not just a speaker, it's an experience. With spatial awareness technology, the HomePod scans the room and adjusts its audio output for optimal sound quality. Now you may be asking, but wait, haven't we talked about it already? And you would be absolutely right. The main difference is in the 12 years of development that went into it, and once again, the big hype. You know, comparing these two systems, despite the age gap, you will get interesting results. The HomePod is like the James Bond of speakers, sleek, smart, and equipped with all sorts of high-tech gadgets. It scans your room like it's on a secret mission, and like I mentioned before, it optimizes sound to make you feel like you're front row at a concert. And then there's the Hi-Fi, the classic rock star of Apple's audio lineup, which was also one of its biggest mistakes. Maybe it was because in 2006 there was no Siri or spatial awareness. It's like comparing a Tesla to a vintage Mustang. Both have their allure, but they offer different thrills. So whether you're into the latest tech wizardry or you've got a soft spot for old school cool, Apple's got your ears covered even in these new times. The Apple Hi-Fi has since its discontinuation gained a cult following. It's become a collector's item, a nostalgic piece of Apple history that fans look back on with a mix of irony and affection. It serves as a lesson, a reminder that even the giants can stumble, but also that there's value in those stumbles. The Hi-Fi may not have been a commercial success, but it was a stepping stone, a learning experience that paved the way for future innovations like the HomePod. To this day, Apple is still selling HomePods and the newest generations of them. Although it is just something on the side, their main priority is developing new iPhones, Macs, iPads, and other toys. In future videos, we can take a deeper look into why companies like Apple are still giants, despite walking one step at a time and maybe uncovering some black sheep during that. While talking about Apple's financial decisions is fun, you should not be forgetting about yourself and your finances. If you want to know how to improve your finances and therefore your life, here are some videos you can watch. See you there.